And away from the southwest of Nigeria, we take you up north, where the founder of the new Nigeria People's Party, Boniface Aniebonam, said Rabiu Kwankwaso, former governor of Kano State, is destroying the party. In 2023, NNPP's Board of Trustees suspended Kwankwaso, who was its presidential candidate in the last elections, over allegations of anti-party activities. However, another faction of the party loyal to the former governor of Kano State reversed the suspension. Kwankwaso was subsequently expelled from the party after he failed to appear before the disciplinary committee set up to probe allegations of anti-party activities against him. And so joining us on the news is Mohammed Abdullahi, who is a public relations analyst, and he will be discussing this with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdullahi, for joining us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Apologies, it's very cloudy right here. So,
of course, we understand what the weather is like. So tell us, what might Rabiu Kwankwaso have done or is doing to suggest that he's trying to destroy the NNPP?
It's quite difficult to understand, but I think what is glaring is the fact that being a presidential candidate, polling more than 1 million votes. In fact, the only candidate in the last general elections that polled over 1 million votes in a singular state. No other presidential candidate did that. Not even the presidential candidate, I mean the winning party's candidate, I mean the president as of now, did that. So he became like a hot cake, you know, being courted by so many other parties, and including even the opposition and even the leading party, APC. And so this did not sit down well with NNPP loyalists, you understand, particularly the founding members who felt he's using his influence, you know, to overshadow the party's belief and resolve, you understand. But to some extent, you might not blame him because, you know, that's what politics is all about. Most times, it's all about self-interest, even before the party interest, before even the masses' interest. So he understands that quite well. If you allow me to say deeper, is Kano State where he controls. Is the only state where the NNPP has a governor at the moment in the whole of the taxi state and the federal capital in Nigeria. Also in Kano State, I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken, they are the only state also who have representatives in the Federal House of Assembly, you know. So it's this and so many other things makes Engineer Rabiu Kwankwaso a very powerful man within the party, even though he might not be the founding member of the party, but he's so powerful because that state Kano, which he controls, produces a lot of giant stride for the party. So he sees himself, that's my opinion anyway, please. He sees himself as perhaps a general leader of the party. Yeah.
So permit me to ask this, based on what you just said. You've talked about personal interest of Kwankwaso coming into play, and the fact that he's trying to use his influence to probably overshadow that of the party and the leaders therein. Now, last year, there was the speculation that Kwankwaso was planted to decimate the influence of other political parties that had or have strongholds in Kano State and Nigeria. So could that be why he's being called out now? Does that also speak to the fact that he's using his political strength to further divide the parties, most especially in Kano State, to give one particular party that I can or will not mention its name precedence?
I think it's not entirely true. Because like I said earlier, Kano State has a NNPP as the governor as of today. You understand? So if it's just about his influence, perhaps it might not be possible. And you understand the last gubernatorial election before the NNPP finally succeeded. Remember even the 2019 general elections, they almost won. They had to go to court. The elections was inconclusive at some point before in 2023 they had to win. So I don't think it's entirely true. The fact is that Rabiu Kwankwaso is very, very popular in Kano State, particularly You understand? So he has a lot of followers. He has a lot of adherents, if I may use that word, and that, speaks about his influence. So if particularly you want to talk about Kano, seriously, I think the person to beat is Engineer Rabiu Kwankwaso. So I think that's the challenge. It's not just about decimating other people's powers in Kano. No, the fact is that he's so powerful in Kano, whomever that aligns with him is likely to carry the day as at this moment.
So what about NNPP as a party? There have been stories as regards how strong it is in Kano State and of course in Nigeria. There are also stories about it's been factionalized and the powers that be within the confines of the party not coming to an agreement to strengthen the fabrics of the party. So do you think that could also play a role in the internal crisis, and why we have a Rabiu Kwankwaso that seems to be more formidable than a party that should have a structure and should have more say in the political sphere in Kano State?
Yes, I think I've answered this question indirectly. The first question you asked me is because of his influence. Like I said, Kano State, where he controls, is the only state in Nigeria where you have a governor from the NNPP party.
Abdullahi, I'm more concerned. Sorry, Abdullahi, I'm more concerned about the internal crisis in NNPP.
Okay.
Maybe that is what is now giving Kwankwaso the leverage to have influence. If you have a party where the leaders are united, then one person or an element might not be able to subvert the stance or the position of its party. So I'm looking at the party, the leadership structure of the party, maybe because it is divided, that is why they cannot stand against whatever it is that Kwankwaso is trying to push as narrative before the party. That's what I'm trying to paint.
I'm sure we are saying the same thing from two different parts. Yes, like I said, because of his influence, he sees himself like a general leader of the party because of what he brings to the table. Now, what does the founding members and even the other faction of the NNPP bring to the table? If you want to, we can allow Nigerians answer that question. He himself, he might not be a member of the BOT, he might not be the leader of the BOT, but because he has produced a governor for the party. NNPP was relatively unknown, I'm sorry to say, before Kwankwaso became their presidential candidate in 2023. So, and from 2023, he's been able to produce a governor for the party single-handedly, if you allow me to say that, you understand, produce some members of the Federal House of Assembly, almost the entire State House of Assembly in Kano are NNPP. So because of this influence, even if he's on the paper, he's not a founding member, he's not a leader, he's not the general leader whatsoever, because what he's been able to bring to the table, yes, we can't deny that he's a prominent leader of the party. And if the founding members are unable to give him this accord, this respect, that this is what he's been able to do, definitely there will be faction. And there will be division in the party. Some people definitely will be loyal to the other faction. Some, perhaps majority, will be loyal to him because they see that what he's been able to at least bring to the table is beneficial to the party. So I think that is the root cause of the division and the factionalization in the party as at the moment. He's been able to do something tangible. Others perhaps have not been able to, and they are not giving him the control of the party.
All right, maybe it's just time for the NNPP to put its house in order. Thank you so much, Mohammed Abdullahi, for talking to us.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.